Hello, everybody. Good morning. Welcome. This is Morning Call for Tuesday, the 10th of September 2019. I have to look it up every time. Um, I never know what day it is in the mornings. Anyway, you're. And then I'm dying. Um, Coffee. I hope you have coffee. I don't know. I'm a bit tired this morning. Did a long podcast last night, so it's always the tired mornings. Um, we got some tech news, but not that many. It's been quiet the last few days. So I mean, it'll heat up soon enough. First news I have is kind of hilarious. Um, so you know, Hideo Kojima making Death Stranding, his new game, obviously a very well known game designer from Metal Gear series, where they kind of kicked him out, and now has his own studio and doing crazy things. And based on the trailers, nobody actually understands what the game's about. Um, just very very nice to see that apparently Kojima doesn't have an idea what it's about either. At least that's what he said in an interview with the Financial Times. I don't subscribe to the Financial Times, so I can't look up the original story. But he apparently said, "I don't understand the game. The worldview and the gameplay are supposed to be completely new, completely new." I'm really surprised. Like I'll be watching what he comes up with. Like for completely new gameplay, that is quite a tall order. Um, Kojima, if you've never played Metal Gear, known for games that are actually quite fun, but that I can't play, for example, because I love lore, and the lore in those games is just hilariously obtuse. It's just like you don't. There's like these long, you know, sequences, story sequences, and just cutscenes and stuff where they're like 40 minutes long, and you don't have a fucking clue what's going on. So Kojima, one of these game designers who always wants to make a movie, I'm thinking. I don't know. I kind of like what he said about the games industry, though. He said the games industry is a kind of uh, uh, service industry powered by art. I thought that was a very apt analogy. He might be going too far into the art direction with this, but we'll see. I'll definitely keep an eye on it. I'm not a big Kojima fan, but you know I kind of bounced off every Metal Gear, but we'll see. It'll definitely be an interesting story. I'm feeling. Um, and then the Linux distribution Manjaro is creating a company, Manjaro GmbH, Gesellschaft mit beschränkter Haftung. So they're obviously German. I didn't know this. I had no idea that Manjaro was German. I always thought they were like a, I don't know, project from Africa or South America or something. Um, but it seems to be it's two German guys, and they basically want to work on it full time, and that's why they creating a company. They're looking into um, possibly earning a bit more money. Heise is reporting, and then maybe hiring some developers as well, some other people. But they're saying they want to keep it open source and free. Um, Currently, I think they're raising. You can kind of uh, donate money to them, and they will keep that going. They're using two platforms that are like kind of like crowdfunding, where you can give them money, and it's supposed to be pretty transparent where the money goes. I've never looked at it, but it's kind of interesting. It's a bit weird. Heise is saying so they created the company so they can sign contracts and can fulfill official obligations, and so that as a rights holder in the EU and US, they can protect the trademark Manjaro, which is not like strictly speaking correct, because I mean in the EU you can register a trademark as a natural person. I'm pretty sure the same is true in the US. And also, I mean, they can sign contracts. The reason to create a GmbH specifically uh, is usually because you want to limit your liability. I mean, it's kind of like a LLC, right? It's so a GmbH is a company that when it goes bankrupt, um, forfeits the assets of the company. So the people you owe money to can take all the money of the company, but the owners, the people running the company, they're not at risk with their personal capital. Um, I'm feeling what Heise is trying to say here is that they did that so they can fulfill these obligations together, because they're two people, and that if you register something, a trademark, or sign a contract as a natural person, then you are the one responsible for that. It's usually hard to do it with like two or more people. So I'm guessing that's why they doing it. There are other options to create a company in Germany. Hello, Mike. How are you? Good morning, sir. Good morning. Good morning. Our silver sponsor here. Yeah, there are other reasons, there are other ways of other companies you can basically create. But GmbH is usually for this kind of thing. Many people, I think, prefer it because of the liability, whatever. I mean, and if they're raising money, and if they want to hire more people, it makes complete sense. So looks good. I mean, Manjaro is kind of has been kind of an up and coming distro for quite a while. Now Ubuntu, lots of people like kind of souring on Ubuntu. Fedora obviously not seen as the best desktop distribution by many, and with Arch and Arch being really complicated, and God, what was that distribution? I still have it on that laptop actually over there. What's that Arch distribution? God, one everybody liked, that just recently gave up and stopped being a thing. God. Now I'm trying to look it up, and there are many. Antergos, right? Antergos, which people really liked, which just recently stopped being a thing this year. And now Manjaro is kind of the thing lots of people are saying this is the cool new thing. No, not Manjaro. I mean, yes, of course, but like, I mean, the other one. I meant Antergos, and now actually a lot of people are saying if you want kind of an easy to use Arch one, then use Manjaro. I've never used it. Maybe it's time for me to look into this. Now that I know that they're fellow Germans. No, I don't care where things are made. Anyway, you might remember I was talking yesterday about the fact that the Wunderlist founder wants to buy that thing back from Microsoft, which bought it to basically make their to-do app. And Microsoft has recently just announced or just released a new version of the to-do app. And they finally want Wunderlist users to use it as well. It's kind of amazing that the whole to-do list thing hasn't been solved. It seems to be such an easy thing, but I don't know. I know this problem. I mean, I've tried many to-do lists, and they either always do more than I want, or they don't do what I want, which is why I use pen and paper, because that is very adaptable. you can do. You're not caught in a framework that somebody else has created for you. You can always change things, and I don't know. I'll have to try this. Is this actually in I think this is in Windows 10, isn't it? I think you have to install it from the App Store. Why doesn't this story actually say that? Anyway. Um, oh, it's an iOS as well. It doesn't look that bad. Trying to load the video, but it's, oh god. Oh yeah, it's changing the Wunderlist logo to, okay. Yes, show me the app. Don't, oh god, it's bullshit. Bullshit. Is that it? Okay, that actually looks, that looks quite good. Maybe I'll have to have a look at that. It's interesting though that there's still like Wunderlist users who are like, oh, I want Wunderlist back. Anyway, new to do app. Then we had a bit of a funny story from the UK, where customers of eBay UK got emails within, like, if they were using Outlook's smartphone app, their emails from eBay, like shipping notifications, stuff like that, had an interesting avatar. So I love it registers is talking about, the avatar for eBay at ebay.co.uk was replaced with a half-naked model looking longingly over her shoulder, meaning messages from the online Tat Bazaar were accompanied in Outlook smartphone application by the cyberminx who appeared to be the saucy sender. And then they have a not safe for a safe for work version. If you click on that, they'll actually show you the actual avatar, which is from a site called Boob Lovers. So below is what folks saw in their apps with the adult star modesty protected. Beware, the uncensored version is not particularly safe for work. I think that's okay. I mean, seriously. People at work need to grow the fuck up. That is not that bad. I mean, it's a side boob, right? She's wearing clothes. A reverse image search of the photo led back to a website titled Boob Lovers. At this point, your rag vulture in the time-honored tabloid tradition made his excuses and left the website. So apparently it was a software error. Microsoft said, as the register then says, why a disabled Microsoft account would serve up softcore porno rather than, we don't know, a blank image for another profile was not explained. Sometimes it's best not to look too deep into another person's or team's code base. Why subject yourself to horrors unnecessarily? Yeah, I think that's so true, isn't it? Anyway, I thought that was a funny story. And then there's a last fight. This story is also great. As an InfoSec person, so there's all these server breaches and leaked databases and hacks and cybercrime and cyber war and black hats and gray hats and everybody stealing credit card data. So there was this clerk who worked in a shopping mall in Japan who'd used this photographic memory to steal the credit card data of 1,300 customers. So apparently, when he took your credit card to put it in, for the transaction, he basically memorized the credit card number, that the expiry date, and that CVC security code on the back, and just memorized that, and then wrote it down later. And they found, when I called him at his home, they found a notebook with these 1,300 credit card numbers in it. Now, this goes to show you that people might have a photographic memory, but that doesn't mean they're intelligent, because he just ordered stuff from, obviously, on the stolen credit cards to his home. And they just had to follow the, whatever he bought to his home, and they caught him. But still, I think That's pretty great. pretty good headline. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it for today. So a bit of a shorter show. So there'll be interesting stuff later. I'm guessing. I'm just running away now because I've just downloaded Greedfall. That Dragon Age kind of Dragon Age in Ixalan colonization game we talked about. I talked about a few weeks ago because I just read something about it and it's coming out today, and I'll play it a bit. I might tell you even tomorrow how I liked it. Anyway, so that's it for me. If you like Magic the Gathering, you can tune in today in the afternoon, 6 p.m. European summertime. I will be Central European summertime. I will be playing a bit of Magic the Gathering, and also a good time to hang out and talk to people. So if you want to come along, you can do that. Otherwise, I will see you tomorrow for more tech news. Until then, have a fine day. Have the finest of days, and remember, always aspire to have order in your life. See you tomorrow. Goodbye.